Well, hello and how are you? Hey friends, it's me again, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you live right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Yes, sir, St. Charles, Missouri, home of Christmas traditions. I tell you what, come one, come all. You can visit Santa Clauses from around the world. That's right, we got sugar plum fairies and different folks just walking around. You got your lamp lighters and all them folks. Yeah, come on over here on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. That's right. From now through December 24th. That's right. Now through December 24th. Come one, come all. It's on our main street down here in St. Charles, Missouri. That's right. Hey, this here is a big day for us because this here is going to be blog number 300. That's right, blog number 300. We done it. We're over the hump. Ding, ding, ding-a-ling-a-ding-ding. Hey, been waiting for it for a long time. Yes, sir, a long time. Got that blog out the way. 300. Boy, I'll tell you what, 60 more and we have a year under our belt. I didn't realize that I'd been doing it that long, but hey, you know, it doesn't take that long to pass up a year. Then again, a friend of mine, we'll just say Mr. Wilkie, he's the one that bursted my bubble on that. He says, yeah, well, the years will start flying by before you know it. And I'm sitting there thinking, why? Why do you figure that? And he says, well, you just got to realize it's all about math. That's right. I've explained this before, and I probably get more guff out of it if people would get on my case there and jump on my Facebook pages and yell at me about it. But I tell you what, here it is, simple math. From the day you are born, 1 year of your life to your first birthday is your whole entire life. That's 100%. That is a long time to live. And then from your first birthday to your second birthday, that is the second year of your life. So your life is now only now half as long as it was the year before. All right, you can see where this is going pretty quick. Third birthday, a third of your life. Fourth birthday, a fourth of your life. And when you start getting up to my age, 50, you get 1/50th of your life. That goes by in a blink of an eye, doesn't it? Because I tell you what, back when I was a kid, Christmas vacation, boy, I tell you what, started on the day before Thanksgiving, and it was like 4 months till you got through Christmas and went back to school as far as I was concerned. And then because you've got to go and play in the snow all the time, and it was just oh man, it was fun. But then you had to go back to school. And you got to go back to school for about, I don't know, 4 years. And then you got out. It didn't seem like 4 years. But you went back to school for a couple of months. And then you got out of school again for your summer break. Summer break was about 6 years long. 6 months long. Whatever it was. It took forever to where you had to go back to school. I remember it well because, boy, I tell you, we had some times when I was a kid. But anyway, that being said, we'd sit out there and we'd do all kinds of stuff when I was a kid whenever we had that time off. And it just seemed like it lasted forever. But nowadays, boy, if your kids come get out of school or whatever, my kids is all growed up past that school age, but when you got kids in school and they get out of school and they've got some time off, well, that 3 weeks feels like about 4 days. And it's like it's gone. They're already back in school. Kid felt like he had 2 months off, you know? And it's like, phew, I tell you, I remember the long days. But Mr. Wilkie, sometimes I tell you, I remember back when you told it to me, and from that day on, my life has gotten shorter and shorter. But you know, here you go, folks. This here is a little secret I'm gonna break to you today, right now. A secret I'm gonna break to you. You're gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that you're gonna die. from the day you're born to the day you die, that's what you're fixing to do. So you better prepare for it. That's right. Prepare for death. I'm not saying walk on eggshells or nothing like that. I'm saying, live your life because, one day it's going to be over. And you don't know when. So, don't fret over the small stuff. Just do what you can do to get by. That's me. I don't fret over nothing small. I just do what I can do. And whenever I do what I can do whatever I want to. And I get by. With a little help from my friends. There you go. I get by with a little help from my friends. Anyway, I think that's a Beatles song. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. You know who he was, don't you? That's right. Beetlejuice. Yeah. Alright. Little drink of the H2O, sweet nectar that God has provided us. Yes, sir. He bubbled it up right out of the bottom of the water. Mm-hmm. He learned some peoples how to get it out of the ground. And he said, here, this is how you get it out of the ground. Now you go along and you sell yourself to some other folks. Instead of showing them how to get it out of the ground, you just do it yourself. Now, of course, if they want to watch and learn how to get it out of the ground, why, you just go ahead and let them do it. And that'll let them go out there and they'll learn. And they'll go out there and they'll sell theirself to some other folks. And as a matter of fact, some folks won't even sell themselves. They'll go out there and they'll go into the communities what ain't got no water, and they'll dig down and deep into the ground and they'll find fresh water. And they'll leave that community with a pump. Yes, sir. They'll have their own personal, fresh, pure water, which is much better than some of the stuff they'd been a-drinking. But anyway, they didn't know anything about boiling it, so they were getting infested with mites and tights and stalagmites. Mites and tights. Speaking of mites and tights, you ever go to a cave? Well, I tell you what, I went to a cave one time right down here in, was it Merrimack Caverns? No, I don't think it was Merrimack Caverns where I found this stuff out. No, it could have been. It was either Merrimack Caverns or it was in Silver Dollar City down at Marble Cave. But anyway, nope, I think it was Merrimack Caverns. Anyway, we had a guide, and that guide was good. And he explained something to us, and I've remembered it to this day. Now, them thingies that look like icicles in the cave, if you ever been in a cave. If you ain't never been in a cave. Anyway, all on top around that ceiling of that cave, there's these things pointing down that look like icicles. And those are called stalactites. And you can tell that they're stalactites because they are tight to the ceiling. They're stuck tight to the ceiling. Now, there are also some of them things protruding up from the ground from the floor of the cave. And they are called stalagmites. Now, stalagmite is, the reason you call it a stalagmite is because it takes a lot of might to build itself up out of the bottom, going upwards. So there you got yourself a stalactite from the top and a stalagmite from the bottom. Now, they also have things called columns. Now, a column is generally where a stalactite and a stalagmite meet together. Now, if you have a stalactite and a stalagmite that meet together, and the stalactite seems to be longer than the stalagmite, then you have a stalactite to the stalagmite. But if you have a stalagmite that is taller than the stalactite is longer, then what you have is a stalactite to the stalagmite tight. So there you go. Whichever one's longer gets the last part of it. So if you got a longer stalactite, then you've got a tight mite. If you've got a longer stalagmite, then you've got a stalagmite tight column. There you go. Columns they are, from the ceiling down to the floor. It's either a tight mite or a mite tight. You can usually tell. Now actually the way the floor ones are made is because the minerals that are up in the earth up above that are dripping down through where the water comes through is actually breaking down the minerals, and the minerals are dripping down through the earth there, and they're forming these stalactites. Well, if the stalactite is liquidy enough, it will drip off the end of it and it'll hit the floor, and it will start performing a stalagmite and start the creation of a stalagmite. So as it drips down and hits the floor, it just keeps piling up on each other, and then minerals start building up into a stalagmite. So it just depends on whether it started dripping first down to the floor, or whether it started making that icicle looking thing from the top first, to figure out whichever it is, a mite tight or a tight mite. So there you have it. That there's some cave stuff for you. I learned that a long time ago, and boy, I tell you, I remember it because, well, it's a tight mite. That was one of those things. I'm good with the tongue twisters, and I like being entertained when I go through these tours and stuff. Tell you what, did I tell you about the Museum of Transportation? Well, they got a train over there, one of their cars, and it's called the Gold Car. And the reason it's called the Gold Car is because, well, they found a mess of gold in it. And the reason they found that mess of gold in it was because the robbers that had robbed that train didn't get that gold. Now, that gold is still in that train till this day. Because whenever you're taking the tour, they still call it the Gold Car. And of course, I don't know if they've fixed it since the last time I was there, but the last time I was there was back in 1985. 85, 90. No, it was 87. I think back in 1987. We got some friends that lives out there, and well, I don't know where they're living exactly anymore, but the daughter came by the other day, little Miss Crudwick. Well, I think it's Crudwick still. I don't know. We'll just call her Paula for short. Paula shows up, and she we were talking about the good old days, but anyway, they collect their family, dad and mom, her dad and mom. They used to collect exchange students. And so they'd come out this way, and every time they'd come out this way, we'd go and do something pretty interesting. Well, this one year, we decided to go on out to the Museum of Transportation. And, well, me being me, I remembered everything. I retained so much information about stuff on my tours that when I was a youngster, I retained this information about that gold car. And when we got to the gold car, the tour guide forgot to mention anything about the gold inside the gold car. And it looks like I'm going to run out of time on this story. So you'll probably want to tune in tomorrow, because I set that there tour guide straight on what was going on. Because when I was in school, we went through that tour, and I was like 8 years old. And, well, at this point in time, I was 12 or 13 years old. A little bit of water. And I had retained that information. But you'll just have to come back tomorrow to find out what that information was. So, hey, this here's, goodbye, my friends. I hate to go. Yes, goodbye, my friends. I hate to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Oh, yeah, it's time to go. That's what I was supposed to be saying. But that's all right. Hey, I can do it any way I feel. This here Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? You know, friends, God loves you and so do I. So be blessed and come back and see me tomorrow because, well, I'll be here and I hope you are too. Goodbye.